What is revolution? It is a forcible overthrow of the existing government in favor of a new one. The period between 1830 and 1843 was marked by a number of revolutions in Europe. These were led by the liberal nationalists, which included the elite and educated middle class, such as professors, school teachers, clerks, and others. The July Revolution of 1830 in France led to the installation of a constitutional monarchy with King Louis Philippe as the head. This sparked an uprising in Brussels, which led to Belgium breaking away from Netherlands. This was followed by the Greek War of Independence, which began in 1821. The Greek educated classes no longer wanted to be a part of the Ottoman Empire. Many in Western Europe sympathized with the Greek culture, as it was the cradle of the European civilization. After a long struggle, Greece became an independent nation in 1832. There were many factors that led to the development of nationalist sentiments, translating into demand for states in other parts of Europe. The Revolution of 1848 in France was led by the middle class and supported by the hungry peasants and farmers too. This filtered to the Austro-Hungarian Empire made up of Germany, Italy, and Poland. As popular unrest grew in these countries, each demanded for a nation-state, with parliamentary principles like constitution, freedom of press, and association. In Germany, political associations comprising of middle-class professionals, businessmen, and artists came to Frankfurt to vote for an all-German National Assembly. However, this initial attempt of the elected parliament was not successful. Although the movement was liberal in nature, the issue of women's political rights was controversial. Women had participated in the liberal movement, formed political associations, founded newspapers, and had been a part of meetings and demonstrations. Yet, they were not given the right to vote. In Germany, when the new parliament was elected, women were only allowed as observers. Culture also played an important part in developing the nationalist sentiments. Romantic artists and poets used art, poetry, stories, and music to focus on emotions, intuitions, and mystic feelings to develop feelings of shared heritage and a common past. Like Delacroix, the dramatist was able to appeal to the emotions when he dramatized the incident of the killing of 20,000 Greeks by Turks. The English poet Lord Byron organized funds and later went to fight in the Greek War. According to the German philosopher Johann Gottfried, true German culture was to be found in the common people. Folk songs, folk dance, and folk poetry were popularized. Similarly, language also was used as a weapon to rebel against the existing systems. For example, Russian was imposed in Polish schools and people were forced to use it. The Polish people rose in revolt, but the armed rebellion against Russians in 1831 was crushed. Yet the Polish people, the priests and bishops used their language as a symbol of struggle against Russian dominance. Let's see how economic conditions in Europe during 19th century helped develop nationalistic sentiments. During 19th century, the population in Europe increased in large numbers. This led to unemployment and migration of people from rural areas to urban areas where they lived in overcrowded slums. Due to industrialization, small producers in towns faced stiff competition from cheap machine-made goods from England. This was specially borne by textile production. In 1845, the weavers of Silesia also revolted against the contractors who paid them very less wages for the services rendered by them. In areas where aristocracy prevailed, peasants suffered under feudal lords. The rise in food price or bad harvest added misery to the already miserable life of the general public. In the year 1848, food shortage and unemployment brought the population of Paris on the road to revolt. This revolt eventually resulted in the National Assembly proclaiming France to be a republic. Over the course of time, these nationalist sentiments spread all over the world. Countries in Asia and Africa based their freedom struggle on the principles of the French Revolution. In which year was the Treaty of Constantinople signed? Select. Which poet of Romanticism organized funds and fought in the Greek War of Independence? Select the correct. Why did the weavers of Silesia lead a revolt against the contractors? Select the correct option and click Submit. Now, let us recapitulate what you have learnt.